In this guide to navigating actions after losing a job, we're going to talk about options for your retirement plan. We're going to specifically focus on the 401k as it's the most common type of retirement plan, but there are various types of retirement plans out there. But when it comes to your 401k, once you leave your prior employer, you essentially have four options for it. First, you can cash it out. Second, you can leave it where it is. Third, you can roll it to a new 401k plan through a new employer. And then finally, you can roll it to an individual retirement account. So we're going to talk about the advantages and disadvantages with each one. Starting off with cashing it out. Well, of course, if you do this, the advantage would be you get the cash right away. You can use the money, get it in your bank account, use it for expenses or goals or anything that you have upcoming. The primary disadvantage to cashing out your 401k is it's fully taxable. So you're paying 100% ordinary income tax on the amount that you withdraw, and that could throw you into a higher tax bracket. There's also the wrinkle of a potential early withdrawal penalty if you cash out your 401k prior to age 59 and a half, and this is a 10% early withdrawal penalty. Now, there are some exceptions to this, such as if you retire or leave your former employer at the age of 55 or older, or if you inherit a 401k. But overall, if you lose your job or leave your prior employer and you cash out your 401k prior to age 59 and a half, and you don't meet one of the qualifying exceptions, then you could be subject to that 10% early withdrawal penalty plus the ordinary income tax. So that's kind of the main points with cashing it out. The second option is leave it where it is. So this is pretty easy and low maintenance because you're essentially not doing anything. You're leaving the 401k with the current custodian who it was facilitated through with your prior employer. But if you do this, then your investments are going to be limited to those options provided by your former employer. So you may not have that flexibility to invest outside of that, and you'd be subject to those specific funds. Also, your investments may drift and not align with your financial goals and objectives, right? If you're not actively looking at your former 401k and making sure that asset allocation is appropriate for you at this stage in your life, you could end up with a allocation to stocks or bonds or cash that's, again, not in alignment with what's best for your individual retirement. So that's something that's important to note with leaving it where it is. But again, that's kind of the easy option for people. They don't want to deal with it. They just leave it where it is. The third option would be to roll it to a new plan, right? But this comes with the assumption that you do get a new job and you could roll that old 401k into the new employer plan, which you're going to have to check with the new 401k plan and the rules and regulations and make sure you can complete that in-service rollover. But the advantage of this would be consolidation. So instead of having two 401k accounts, you can consolidate it just with the one with your new employer. But of course, if you do this, then you are going to be limited to those investments provided by your new employer. So something to consider there. And that may not be a bad thing, right? If you like the lineup of those investments and it's simple just to invest in that, then it could make sense to roll it to the new employer's plan. And then your final option would be rolling it into an individual retirement account. So by moving the 401k into an individual retirement account, you're going to have much more flexibility as far as what you can invest in. You might not be subject to those specific funds that you have in the prior employer. You could maybe invest in ETFs or stocks or bonds. So you have a whole universe of investments that you can explore in an individual retirement account. Again, you're not limited to those specific funds provided by the new employer or former employer. But with this comes the management responsibility, right? Either you're managing those investments on your own or you're hiring an investment advisor to manage the portfolio for you. Now, if you hire an investment advisor or financial planner to manage that portfolio, it's probably going to come at a higher fee compared to the administration or plan fee that you're paying if you were just leaving your 401k as is or rolling it into the new company plan. So that's something to be considerate of, but it could lead to additional services such as financial planning and that type of stuff. So overall, these are the four options with the 401k. Hopefully this was helpful. I did write an article that provides a lot more detail on this topic, so click the top right of this video here to check that out. And thanks, and we'll talk with you next time.